Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, it's a dumbbell. Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews, and if you're anything like me, then you like to make sure that the equipment you use in your gym is stuff that can be compatible with your other equipment. So what I mean by that is, like, it's great to have a lat pull down that's weight stacks because it's really quick to change, but the problem is you can't use those weight stacks for anything else. You've got Olympic plates in here that are just sitting there. So having plate loaded options is honestly like the ideal for home gyms. And this today is basically taking equipment you've already got, Olympic plates, and allowing you to use it for an adjustable dumbbell. Now, this is not the first, loadable dumbbell that's out there. This is the Gungnir Dumbler 50 millimeter, which is very cool, and I'm going to talk about some of the features, but most people have seen loadable dumbbells. For instance, this, pretty cool, huh? This is the Rogue DB15. It's a 15-pound Rogue loadable dumbbell. It's essentially a Rogue Ohio power bar that's been chopped and screwed and turned into a loadable dumbbell. The nice thing about these is these types of dumbbells are essentially adjustable dumbbells. Now, they're not an adjustable dumbbell like this over here, which this is the MX Select. You can change all the different weight increments, everything like that. But the difference is you can, instead of having to buy like a full set of that, you can just buy the handles and then use the plates you've already got. The benefit, the biggest benefit, is the amount of weight you can use though. These will only go up to a certain amount of weight, whereas with loadable dumbbells, you can do a lot more. So as you saw in the intro, this is a special loadable dumbbell. And what's so special about it is, yeah, it's nice. It's made in Norway. It's got some nice, qualities to it from the knurling, although this is a prototype. We'll show you the actual knurling, to, just the spin, things like that. But really, the reason you would buy this is this piece right here. Watch this. Click, click, boom. So this piece right here is a titanium clip that then has magnets on the inside, so it has built-in collars in the sleeves. And we've done a review on their barbell. So this is the Gungner all-rounder barbell. It takes this same application that's used on the Dumbler, but it uses it on a barbell sleeve. What I found was it works extremely well. In fact, I fell absolutely in love with it. If it wasn't for such an expensive cost, I could see these being in nearly every gym. This is the benefit. You no longer have to use a extra collar, so you don't have to pay for a collar, but that's not really the real reason. It's because you don't have to look for anything, and this thing holds better than any other collar that I've seen. We've tested all the collars out there. The difficulty is, over time, with enough pressure and enough use, the collar ends up sliding. But because this is locked into the sleeve, it doesn't slide at all. I mean, I've jumped on this sucker. We've thrown it off the top of a 108-inch squat rack while I was standing on top. You can see it here. Absolutely just stupid stuff to test. Is this gonna work? In addition to that, we used it in our personal training studio by all different people using it in all different ways, from Olympic weightlifting to powerlifting to CrossFit. And it still works like it did on day one. And that was the biggest question, was, is this titanium clip going to break? Because the reality is, it's a very small piece. And everybody asks, like, is that gonna break? Is that gonna break? That's gonna break. Listen, Linda, this thing's still here, still kicking, just like it did on day one, and just as easy to use. That same feature was then, and I had been asking this ever since I heard about this. I said, you should be using that on a loadable dumbbell. That is the perfect application, because I love it for a barbell, but here's the thing, with loadable dumbbells, big collars on a sleeve takes up so much space, and you gotta have them on both sides. They rock around. This is the perfect application. So this piece right here is not revolutionary in my opinion, but it is evolutionary for adjustable dumbbells, and I love it. And I love it. I'm telling you, it is good. It just holds so tight, so well, and it's extremely easy to use. I did this in the other video, but there's this noise that happens here. Just quiet yourself. Let's have an ASMR moment. It's just, Isn't that just nice? Like, it's just so nice. It just has that nice feeling to it, but even better than that is the way it holds plates. All right, so like any other loadable dumbbell, you load it just like you would a Olympic barbell. So we're gonna start with just a 10-pound on each side. As you can see, very simple, just clip this out, slide it in, and then lock it. One of the issues with these, as you can notice, is because the increments aren't so slight and so close spaced together, there is gonna be play in there, which is annoying. Like, I mean, I can get it that's as tight as I can get it is right there. So there's slop. Now, personally, I don't like slop. I hate slop, right? Like, it's super annoying. However, what I found is if you're using a loadable dumbbell and you're using regular collars on there, yeah, for your first set and things like that, it's not gonna move a lot, but if you're moving them, like if you're dropping them, touching the ground at all, things like that, unless you're using like say a Rogue USA aluminum collar, a lot of times they're still gonna break off there and there's gonna end up being slop anyway. So this isn't ideal, but I don't think it's enough to the point where it's gonna be just crazy annoying. In fact, in my training with them, after a little bit, I just really didn't even notice anymore. So just be aware. Then we're gonna throw one on the other side. These are just basic cap 10-pound plates. These are not the, the nicest plates. They're not gonna have the tightest tolerances on the collar. So that's another thing that's affecting this. If you've got one that's a little bit tighter, you're not gonna see as much slop. Okay, so that one's on there. As you can see, I'll put mine in there to show you, but this is where we're at now. I mean, I really have no fear of this dropping. With a typical loadable dumbbell, some movements really aren't possible, and I'll show you those, but we'll just do a drop test. So I'm just gonna drop this from waist height, nothing, shake it around, side down. As you can see, like, I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I did this same thing. This is the same sleeve that's on the barbell. I don't expect to go anywhere. So I'll show you what it looks like with more plates. As you can see, I just popped that sucker off so quickly. Didn't do anything to it, just. Okay, so let's load this thing up a bit heavier. Okay, so I've got 40 pounds on each side. The Gungner bar weighs 12 pounds. So we're looking about 82 pounds, or 92 pounds, excuse me. This is about what I use for a typical tricep kickback. This may be too heavy for most of you guys, but for me, it's not a big deal. All right, now I'll just kind of show you, same thing. I mean, they probably don't want you doing this. They probably don't warranty for this kind of stupid stuff, but somebody's got to do it for science. All right. See, let's do the test. Does it come off? Ah, like nothing. See, it's just so easy. But as you can see, that slop is in there. So as you're rowing, if you don't like the clanking iron, it's kind of hard to get away from with this, but so you can see, not going anywhere. The benefit to that is you know that it's gonna hold regardless of what you're doing. So even if you're doing some exercises that you typically don't do with these, where this would be vertical, you really can't do that with a loadable dumbbell, an Olympic dumbbell, but you can with this. I would not feel comfortable at all using that with a loadable dumbbell. In fact, I'll kind of show you how it would look with the Rogue dumbbell. Here it is with the Rogue dumbbell bumpers and the DB15. These collars are a knockoff of Oso, so they're not gonna hold as well as the aluminum collars Rogue makes, the Rogue USA aluminums, which are our best collar in our opinion. So you can see the review on that below the like button. But just to show you, I mean, you do this enough, you're gonna get some slop in there, right? And then dropping it. Again, if it was a better collar, it wouldn't drop as much. However, regardless, it's still gonna drop more than the Gungner collar would. Okay, back to the review. So that's how it works. As you can see, extremely durable, stays on, the clip just works. Now, there are certainly some downsides, but before I talk about those, I do want to point out the knurling. The knurling that's going to be used on this, again, this is a prototype. The real one's going to be 190K tensile strength, so pretty much the same as any barbell that's out there. Extremely strong, going to be able to hold whatever weight you can do. They say it has a max of like 650 or something like that. I mean, it can hold anything you're going to do on it because it's so short. It's a 28 millimeter bar, so it's more like a weightlifting bar. I prefer something thicker for dumbbells personally, but for most people, this works because, you know, if you're doing dynamic movements like snatches and things like that, a smaller diameter feels better. But the knurling is the exact same that's on the all-rounder, which is a nice knurl. It's not, I wouldn't say it's anything like to write home about. It's not incredibly tremendous, but I would say it's a little bit above a medium knurl. It's not quite as aggressive as a typical powerlifting knurl, but it's enough to give you grip when you grip some chalk. The ends of these, the sleeves are coated in electroless nickel, which is probably one of my favorite coatings right now. I've got a bar from Kabuki Strength that's coated in electroless nickel. It's just really nice. It lasts a long time. It doesn't scratch very easy. Again, this is a prototype, so it's showing some extra scratches. But overall, the fit and finish of these is as you would expect from an Eleiko or a company like that. Very high quality, without a doubt. Now, here's the downsides. One is it's still in a loadable dumbbell, which means anytime you're doing like bench or something like that and you place it on your knee, that bad boy is the thing that's on your knee. So you're putting that on your knee and then you're coming back. I would love it if there was some sort of like placement thing you could put on here. I've seen some guys do 3D printed, so it sits on there and disperses the area a little bit more. But that compared to a traditional dumbbell is something that a lot of people don't like. The other thing is it's long, but the sleeve length is not quite as long as Rogue's. See, I mean, it's not crazy different. You also have to consider that you would be using a collar on Rogue's, which is a benefit of this. However, the first stop you can do on this is right here. So the usable length is really that, if you want to like use it how it's designed to be made. So unless you have extremely thin plates, loading like a ton of 10s on here up to a weight that a lot of people would like to do, 150, 65 for rows, heavy rows, you know, I think most people that would never be an issue, but for certain people, the weight that can go on here, you just got to make sure you have thin enough plates. And then lastly is the price. This is very much like an Eleiko type product. It's very like fit and finish is premium. All the features are nice. This is very unique, but this is not a Chinese made imported product. This is made in Norway. So it's expensive. And then you have to pay extra shipping. So to buy 2 of them right now, as of the recording of this video, it's 400 bucks. So 200 bucks a handle. That's about the price that you pay for like 200 bucks a handle. I mean, you can get a decent barbell for that, like an actual barbell. So, you know, I don't know. That's a lot of money for a loadable dumbbell that doesn't come with any plates. Sure, you can use the plates you already have, but most people, they'll want to buy some extra 10-pound plates. So that's another expense that you're going to have on top of it. So I love it. That's the thing with Gungner. I love what they're doing. I love their stuff. It's just, I think for most home gym owners, it's probably still too pricey. However, I will say this. This would be the last adjustable dumbbell set you'd have to buy. So you can go heavy with it. You can use it on bench. Yeah, it's got the problem where like it's a long collar, so it can feel a little bit unique. I use them for arnold press. And, you know, they clank together a little bit, but nothing major. But this is all you'd really have to have, and you can use the plates you've already got. You can go heavy, and it's just seamless. All right, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Do you think that price is a little bit too much? Like, is that hard to stomach? Let me know in the comments. I love the design. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Oh,